Okay. Hello everybody. I am Noverb, and today I have the distinct pleasure to show you all Once Upon a Galaxy, also known as just Galaxy. I'm going to give you a basic overview of the game and its mechanics, and hopefully you will enjoy it, like it, and then download it off of galaxygame.gg on either iOS or Android. You can also follow me at twitch.tv/Noverb or on YouTube as well. So let's get into it. Galaxy is a auto battler where you are picking out a captain and then units to defeat your opponents with. All of the combat is going to be a little bit random, but you can choose how the randomness happens to an extent. So let's begin by just looking at the captains we have selected. Uh, there are quite a few captains in the game. Each game you will be given 3. I have a brand new account here, so this is exactly how you're going to see it when you hop into the game after you enter the tutorial. So the first one we have is a Loki. Whenever you cast a spell on a character, cast it on 2 random characters instead. Then we have Hades, which doubles your first farewell ability, and farewells are effects that would be when this dies. Then Chucky is your toys have +4 attack and are also villains. And this can be quite good with units that are toys. Generally, they like to die and make a second one. So having tokens like your characters that will come back over and over again, having a bit more power early on is quite good. So I'm going to showcase a few of their personal decks, and then from that, we will just get into a game. You can't really edit the personal decks at the beginning because you don't have a collection, but I'll explain how it works. So each one has their own 12 card starting deck, and you can see that here. Loki has Busted Bot, Fiverr, Plunder Penny, Mecha Man, Morgan Le Fay, Shanty, Calypso, Jolly Roger, Nightshade, Mirror Mage, and Morticia, as well as Guinevere as the legendary. It seems that all of them so far will have like 3 commons, which are denoted by the little gray symbol here, 3 uncommons denoted by the green symbol, 3 rares denoted by blue, 2 epics, and then 1 legend. And as you play the character more and more, if you get wins with the character, you will be able to unlock new cards for that character's personal deck. It seems like with this current patch, you have to play with exactly 12 cards in your deck. You cannot play with less, but that's not exactly bad. So, how does this differ from other auto battlers? One, you don't have a shared pool like other auto battlers do. Most of this game is played asynchronously, although there are live lobbies. Asynchronously means that you can pick up a game, start playing, and then put it away, and it will still be there for you to play when you get back. It uses the games that people have played in the past as your opponents. So the game that you're playing right now might be someone that like someone else plays in the future. How that's different from normal auto battlers is generally in an auto battler, you will be all fighting for the same pool. Because of the asynchronous nature, that's not possible. So instead, there is a general pool of characters that you can pick your team from, but then there's also a personal pool, which is what this deck is. These are the 12 cards that you are adding to the pool altogether, so that it will change your options each game. And each captain might want different things to have access to. Like Loki, for example, with his ability to duplicate spells that target units, you may want to start with cards like Mirror Mage, which likes having spells put on it. But if you don't want to be playing spells during your game, you may not want Mirror Mage in your deck. So each captain is going to start with some cards that are not exactly optimal, just so it's a good option for you to remove from your deck to teach you how to build as you go. That being said, things that are cool with Loki, like Nightshade is pretty good, increases the power of buffs. Mirror Mage wants you to cast spells. Calypso wants you to cast spells. Morgan Le Fay wants you to cast spells. So there are some like standout cards that you really want to have in your Loki decks, but then some cards that you just don't care about. So I'm just going to save. I'll go deeper into the deck I'm actually going to choose today, which is going to be Hades. It's quite a powerful effect. It says double the first farewell ability each fight. And if we go to look at Hades' deck list, we can see that Hades has a Busted Bot. And Busted Bot is a farewell, create a 2/2 bot pilot. So that means that when this dies, if it's the first farewell ability of this fight, it means you're going to get 2 for the cost of 1 death. Similarly with Mecha Man, giving you random toys. Nutcracker Prince giving one of your heroes +3/+3 twice. We've got quite a good one, Mechanical Dragon, which will give you a Dragon Claw, and then, 2. So we're going to go with Hades for our first game, and just get into it so I can showcase the game a little bit more. All right. So this is your shop screen. Let me go through all the different pieces of the shop. The first, at the top right, is what turn you're on, and the color or the symbol around the turn number is what level you are. So right now it's gray, which means that we are common, and we will only see cards of the common rarity. There we go. So you only see cards with this little gray symbol. Every 2 turns, you will upgrade your level into the next rarity, being uncommon, rare, epic, legendary. This next symbol means that we will have 1 more shop after this one, and then we will have 1 combat after that. So how turns normally work is that you will get 2 shops and then 1 combat. Effects of cards and how you play the game can affect how many combats you have versus how many shelves. I don't know. Cards that you play and put onto your team can change how many shops you have before each combat or what the shops look like. So let's take a look at the units. We've already got Wind Up Toy showcased. Wind Up Toy is a 0 attack, which means that it will not attack and also not deal damage. And it has 3 health. But it has an ability that says when it is attacked, give it +1 attack. So that means that the first time it's attacked, it'll get a 1 attack, and then it will attack back at something else for more damage. And it will gradually get stronger. We've got Mr. Smee, which is a 2/2. When one of your pirates attacks, gives it +2 attack, including itself. So if you're putting it up in the front row, it will attack and give itself +2 attack. This is a good example to showcase the card types. It is common, as you can see from the rarity, but it's also a pirate and a villain. So the unit types in this game are very important and can give you a lot of cool synergies like you're seeing with Mr. Smee. And last, we have Jealous Stepsisters, which is a 1/3 and it has Quest. Quest is a very cool ability, which says that when you do whatever the quest is, you will get a treasure of the level that the character is. So in this case, the quest is that she wants you to deal 6 damage in a single fight. And you'll notice that it's only a 1/6, so it's not going to deal a lot of damage to start with. It'll deal maybe like 2 damage on average. You need it to be much stronger in order to get through that 6 damage. But it's a card that I can showcase how cool synergies work, so let's take that here. All right. Now we're on the second shop. You can see that the little circle has been removed, and now we're on to the shop directly before the fight. But you'll also see that we have a silver card in our shop right now, and that's the second Jealous Stepsisters. Silver cards are a little bit different than the bronze cards. They will always have +1/+1 of whatever the current character is. And when you buy it, it will generate you a free shop. It'll like make you have another shop. So there's no downside to taking it other than not getting to take the cards that are already in the shop. The other cards in the shop we have are Gingerbread House and Itsy Bitsy Spider. So Gingerbread House is actually a really good combination with Stepsisters because it has a farewell that will give the neighbors, i.e. the two cards next to it, +2 attack. That's very good with Stepsisters because it does increase the likelihood that we will be getting that quest off on one turn. The other option being Itsy Bitsy Spider, which is just a 2/3 common animal. Here, it's really a toss-up because we are playing Hades that cares about farewell abilities, and Gingerbread House could be very good. So I actually think that might be better than getting the second Stepsisters and another free shop. So let's go with that and take a little risk. Okay, you'll notice that I moved this from the left to the right. Where you place your cards matters. The character on the top left will attack before the character in the center or the right, and then the bottom and the bottom right. So, in this case, I don't really care if Gingerbread House is here or here. It doesn't really matter. But what I do want to happen is I want the house to die, if possible, before the Stepsisters, so that the house can give the Stepsisters +4 attack. It's still a little random, because when it goes to combat, a player is chosen at random to attack first, then their top left character will attack into a random spot on the opponent's board, and then you will get to attack back until all characters are dead. So let's take a look at the board here. We have 5 opponents. The goal of the game is to reduce all of our opponents' hearts to 0. How we do that is through the battles. During a fight, if you were to win the fight by having at least 1 unit in play at the end of the fight, your opponent will take half a heart in damage. If you were to win the fight where your board consists of 3 or more units, your opponent will take a full heart of damage. So you're trying to get the opponent to lose 3 full hearts. When you would tie, both players do not lose any hearts, they just sit where they are. If you have a heart that's broken in half and you would win the next combat or any combat after while you have the heart broken, you will heal that heart back to full. So let's give it a shot. Alright, so you'll notice that we attacked first, they attacked back, killing our dude, and then now we have a 5/3. And we won the fight, so our opponent will lose half their heart. Now we have a second turn, so we also have 2 more shops and another combat. We have a mysterious egg. After 3 turns, it'll transform into a character 1 level higher than your current shop. So in this case, it's turn 2. So on turn 3 will be uncommon, on turn 4 will be uncommon, on turn 5 we will be rare, and it will transform into an epic card. However, I do think it's better just to take the silver card to get another shop, upgrade our house a little bit, and get closer to that gold. Why do I want a gold, you might ask? When you get to the 3rd character being gold, when you buy it, you will receive a treasure of that type, and I will show you how treasures work when we get one. Alright, let's see. Let's take a Puck here. Puck is a pretty good character with Stepsisters. So it has support, which means that when I put it right here behind my characters, the characters that Puck is supporting will get the +3 attack. And if I move this here, you can see how this will lose the 3 attack. So we'll just take another Puck because it is beneficial just to get the +1/+1, and it gives us a free shop anyway. Oh, that's pretty good. So I'm going to move these over here. Let's take this here, and let's make a busted bot. So, like we talked about before, Hades gives the first farewell ability a double trigger, so we will either get 2 2/2s or we'll get double the attack from the Gingerbread House. Either one perfectly reasonable in the early game. Awesome. So we won with 4 units. That means the opponent is going to take 1 whole heart of damage, not just a half. All right. So we have completed the treasure, or completed the quest, which will receive a treasure. Because the Stepsisters is a common card, the treasure we receive is also a common card. So there are 3 treasures available to us. We have a Captain's Cutlass, which means the first slot, which is this top left one, has +5 attack. A Lesser Mimic, which transforms into the next treasure you discover. And a Robin's Hood Bow, which will give +4 attack to the character you recruit each turn. Now, Lesser Mimic is a very good treasure, but one that you generally don't want to get super early. It can do a lot of work for you, but it's much better if you can get it later in the game when you get a higher level treasure, like let's say a legendary or epic treasure. You can plan to try to get a common treasure on turn like 9, 10, etc., and then immediately follow it with a higher level treasure to get 2 copies of that better treasure. Otherwise, you can get it now and double your second treasure, but given that you're not guaranteed to get a second treasure for a little while, it may actually just be nothing. So it may be better to get either of the other 2 just to have a bonus early on. So let's take this Robin Hood's bow. Robin Hood's bow. I'm saying that right? I think I'm saying that right. All right, so we're taking that. So now the first character that we buy each turn will have +4 attack, and you can see that already. Where Daughter of Athena would normally be a 1/3, Baby Bear would normally be a 3/3, 2/3, 2/3, 3/3. Math. I can math. And then Prickles would normally be an 0/2. But you'll notice that we are now on turn 3, and our symbol has changed into this almost like an asteroid-looking symbol. And it means that we will now see uncommon cards like Baby Bear. Baby Bear is a 3/3 normally, where each fight gives your animals slots +1 health. And it itself is an animal. It's also an uncommon, as you can see by the green gem. So, what that means is that each character is sitting on a slot on your board. So if I have another animal or the bear itself, it will give the slot +1 health. So anytime a character goes into that slot, it will get that bonus. It doesn't need to be on the character itself. That being said, what do I care about here? Oh, I should also explain spells, I guess, right? Turn 3 is the first time you see spells. Spells will also take up what you buy this turn, so you can buy one of the characters or you can buy a spell. This spell, for example, is What Big Teeth You Have. Give a character +4 attack. Not the best spell. It can be useful, especially if you haven't already gotten your stepsisters to get the quest complete. Like, if we didn't have the house or Puck, we may have needed What Big Teeth to complete that quest. This being said, I'm going to take the Baby Bear. It's the strongest unit in the pool in front of me, but it also gives me slot bonuses. And while +1 health isn't the best in the world, there is a character later in the game that has a quest that says, as long as you have a slot buff on every slot, you complete my quest and get a rare treasure. So the earlier that we can start working on that, the better. All right, so let's go this way. We no longer need stepsisters to be super strong because we've already completed our quest. So we'll get better reward from putting it on the busted bot, which will get 3 attack on the baseline and then 3 attack on the unit it summons as well. Now, I think actually we're going to go with Katamari, another uncommon. It is all types, and it will also show you that it is an animal, because Baby Bear cares about animals. So what's better here? I think we'll just throw away the gingerbread house, or no, the stepsisters. I can word, I promise you. And we'll put Katamari in the left slot, because Katamari cares about attacking. So if we're attacking from left to right, the character that will attack first as long as it survives is this slot. So if we want Katamari to attack as much or as likely as possible, we want to put it in that top left slot. And you'll notice that there's that little +1 on the slot now. So any character that is in that slot will have the +1 health. We won with 3 units, so the opponent will lose a full heart instead of a half. So here's an interesting question. We have a Tink, which is quite good. It has a support that basically gives you the Katamari buff of giving the unit +1/+1 when it attacks. We have a Karma Chameleon, which is weird. It's good because we have a Robin Hood's bow, which is making it a 6/2, which means it is more likely to get off that hunt ability. And hunt, since I haven't explained it yet, hunt is when this is attacking and kills the opposing unit that it is attacking. Even if the chameleon dies, it will transform. I think that might be the call here over maybe the house. Could also take sepsisers as a way to get to a... We would get like a free shop because it wouldn't even be a downside here. We would get closer to that treasure. Very interesting. Well, at the very least, I want to put this here, and I want to put this here. Again, we're trying to make it so that all of our slots are buffed, so having an animal here and an animal here will slowly work towards that. I think we're going to take the chameleon and replace the house. And again, we're putting it in the leftmost slot so that we are hoping to have this attack first. Hunt is only while it's attacking, not when it's defending, so we want to make sure that this attack happens as soon as possible. In this case, I think we will actually take the You Meet in a Tavern because it is a spell that will give us a new shop, that will guarantee that we have at least an uncommon that we see. And we just see another symmetry. A very interesting card that is a 2/2 that, let's say it's in front of a puck, it'll be a 5/2, and then at the start of combat, it'll become a 5/5. And you can kind of go back and forth on swapping it in and out to increase its stats gradually. Not something I really care about here, though. Alright, Dungeon Master, let's go. So we attacked first, and we got the kill, so it turns into a fairy dragon. And we just crushed them, so they're going to take a full heart. I don't know if it's showcasing that with it being the lower ranks. It is also in beta, so things are still being worked on and tweaked. This time, though, I will absolutely take a second rare. Again, we're on turn 5 now, so now we're starting to see rare characters and rare spells. This is not a rare spell, it's uncommon, but you get what I mean. Just showcasing the blue means that we are now in that rare level. So we'll give it a +1/+1. Ooh, a mechanical dragon. That's way better than Busted Bot. So, I've showcased treasures already with the Robin Hood's bow. Mechanical dragon has treasure hoard, which means that whenever you get a treasure, it'll increase it by +1/+1. Treasure hoard just says it has +1/+1 for every treasure you have. And then if it has Treasure Hoard 2, it'll give +2/+2 for every treasure you have. And then Treasure Hoard 3, etc. And then Mechanical Dragon combos well with itself because it has a farewell to get a Dragon Claw, which is a treasure, so it'll give it +1/+1 in later fights. And we are playing Hades, so obviously this is going to trigger twice if it is the only farewell we have. Notably also, we have a Fairy Dragon, which has Treasure Hoard, and then has support give the characters in front of a treasure hoard. So a very good combo with each other. We're going to get rid of it with replacing the Busted Bot, just so that we can only have that one farewell ability, and we'll only ever get that one, as long as characters start dying. So, just want to take a second to showcase what this symbol is. For the longest time, I was calling this like the discard pile. But after hanging out with the guys at Gen Con, I have learned that they have dubbed this either the hold or the vault or like something to showcase that the card is not gone forever. So if I take this busted butt and I throw it over here, or if I had just put the mechanical dragon over top of it to replace it, then it goes into like a vault, which means that whenever a shop is generated, it has a chance to come back out. But because I've purchased one already, the card that's in that vault was and always is like the next level. So that was a bronze one. So the card that currently exists in the vault is the silver one. And you can buy a character directly from the shop into the vault just to level it up if you wanted to. So I'm going to take this. Yeah. I'm not going to go over every card. Part of the fun of this game is learning how all these characters work and have synergies with each other. So Fairy Dragon has the support. We want to put it in the back row. This is my last thing that doesn't have a slot buff on it. We'll put that here. We'll put the Katamari here. And let's take it like that, I guess. So with the baby bear on this slot, guaranteeing that we're going to get the +1 health slot bonus, I think we're pretty good on this field. The only thing we have to do now is choose what last card we want, if it's a spell or if it's one of these. If we wanted to just keep the Puck style of effect, we could just take this Jill Sunshine, which is the same thing as Puck but a little better. If we wanted to go on the health side, we have Jack Frost, and then Tank is, as long as it's attacking, it's getting a bonus. So let's go ahead and continue on with the attack. And the Farewell has given us 2 Dragon Claws, which give all of our units +1. Oh. Okay. Interesting. So we have Sugar Plum Fairy, which has a recruit ability, which is not like technically a recruit ability, but I'll get into that later. Recruit just means when you pick it out of the shop, and you can do so by doing this or by throwing it into the vault. Either one will trigger the bonus, and she also cares if you have other cards do that as well. So I think what I'm going to do is just put the fairy here. It's a little bit worse. No, it's actually better than Baby Bear because Baby Bear is currently a what? 9/4? So this is actually better. Yeah, there you go. So, you'll see that this is now glowing. And what that means is that like something on your board cares about it in the shop. And that is showing the Sugar Plum Fairy being the other glowing card as the card that cares about it. So if I take this slash, it's a Fae, which means that Sugar Plum Fairy, when I recruit the Fae, will give my shop +1/+1 for the rest of the game, which means that every card I see will have +1/+1 even before I buy it. The question is, do I want slash, which will also give my shot plus attack? But it is a farewell ability, so it will fight with Mechanical Dragon for triggers, and I think I'm just not going to care about that. Alright. And now we're on turn 7, which is the first turn of the epic phase. We will now start seeing epic cards with that purple-pink gem. Bronze Goose is interesting because it skips the silver slot. As soon as you buy this, if it would be seen again in the shop, it is the gold variety and will immediately give you a treasure when you buy it. Katamari will give us a second shop. And then Two-Headed Wizard is probably one of my favorite cards in the game right now. It has Recruit. The next time you cast a spell, cast it again. and then some other text about like casting spells and all that jazz. I don't actually ever care about having the card in play. It's a good card, and it can be very good. But generally, I will like this card because of effects like Lost in the Woods, which is a spell that just lets you see a new shop, and it will like trigger spells as you know when you cast a spell, I get +2/+2. So it's kind of like a buff to that, but it's also a if you cast this twice, you're getting two shops instead of one, which is kind of how the currency in this game works. If you've played auto battlers in the past, then you will notice that there is no economy in this game. There's no gold, there's no points that you're accruing. Every shop you're just buying one card. So what that means is that there is a shop economy. And the way to get more econ is to buy more or get more shops in a way. One of those ways is Two-Headed Wizard giving you extra ways to get lost in the woods and some other cards that I'll talk about in a bit. So I'm going to take this, and I don't really care to have it on my board. Like, it's kind of better than Jill, I guess. Will I lose much if I replace Jill? Probably not. Yeah, let's take it to the board. Otherwise, something I commonly do is just honestly buy the wizard into the vault, which will still trigger its recruitability, because often the wizard isn't like better than my board as it is. Alright, so we have a Fae and Toady, which will give the next legendary character I buy +12/+12, which is pretty solid. But then we also have cards like Mighty Mouse and Two-Headed Dragon. Mighty Mouse is quite good. Whenever you buy a animal or a hero, wait, oh, they changed how it works. That's interesting. Okay, so now it says animals and heroes in your shop have +4/+4. After you recruit one, improve this ability by +2/+2. I think that's basically what it used to do, just it changes how you perceive it. Okay. But this card is quite good as long as you're going into like that animal or hero strategy, because it's just making your cards better, but only as long as you have Mighty Mouse while you're buying them. There's also a Two-Headed Dragon, which has Treasure Hoard 2, which is going to get better and better whenever my Mechanical Dragon dies. And also, when you golden it, I get the third copy, you will get 2 of the epic treasures instead of 1. I don't know what I'm doing with my strat yet. I think I may as well go dragons. I don't have a solid here or there on that. Sugar Plum Fairy isn't like getting me the bonus that quickly, and I haven't gotten a way to give her a better buff. So I'm just going to replace her with a Two-Headed Dragon. Phil is a rather annoying card. As long as Phil hasn't attacked yet, it'll come back when it dies. Oh, okay. So Daisy Jones is really cool in a farewell style deck, because when she hunts, she will trigger the farewell of the characters behind her. I think I like that. What do I like it over, though? Probably over, let's see how big this is. 16/9 on its own. Probably over Katamari. Two-Headed Wizard can scale faster than Cat can. Alright. And you'll see we still have this Two-Headed Wizard ability in the background. Whenever we play our next spell, it'll play twice. So if I wanted to play Happily Ever After, it would get twice the bonus. I don't, but we could. In this scenario, I don't really want any of these cards. They're all fine in their own right, but none of them really excite me. So I'm just going to take the highest rarity one and put it into the vault, so that next time I see it, it'll be a silver and will get me closer to getting that treasure of that rarity. So the higher the rarity, the higher the treasure quality. There's some exceptions to that rule. Sometimes based on what kind of strategy you're going for, you may want a specific rarity treasure. Like if you're playing Who's who casts a free spell every turn after turn 3, you may want to have Breadcrumbs, which will always cast that Lost in the Woods, that free shop every turn, which will give you 3 shops every turn for the rest of the game. So you may want to keep on like trying for those common treasures until you get it, which is a reason to go lower rarity than higher. And we got that Farewell ability, nice. Okay. We have a Phil. We have a Guardian of the Grove, that's our first legendary. It is now turn 9, showcased again by the orangish symbol. Guardian of the Grove is whenever one of your animals attacks, give all of your animals +5/+5. We currently have no animals, so it's not really the best for us. Phil is pretty good in the sense that because we have so many treasures, it is going to come back over and over again with a lot of attack. So what we could do, move this like this, and I guess this is like better than Two-Headed Wizard. Go like that. So that whenever this attack, or whenever it gets attacked, it will re-summon unless it, either doesn't die or has already attacked. Which, because it's the third to the right, it will attack third theoretically. In this case, we have that second Scar, a Robin Hood, and a Cheshire Cat, and a Huff and Puff. Huff and Puff's not bad, but it's not like where I want to be. I'm saving that extra spell cast for a specific thing. Ooh, so we got a rare treasure or a second daisy. Let's take the rare treasure. Oh, we just gave away the Two-Headed Wizard. So this is a really cool treasure, especially for Hades, because it's going to double our first feral ability. And if we have any really cool recruit abilities, like with Two-Headed Wizard, then it will turn that, when you recruit this, get an extra spell the next time you cast a spell, into a farewell trigger, which means that we will be able to stack spells and stack spells and stack spells. The other things we have are Spellbook Punch card, which is whenever you cast your second spell on a turn, get a bonus shop, and an Energizer, which is actually good for our current state, because Energizer is going to give all of our treasure buffs +2/+2, which means all of our Dragon Claws will go from being +1 attack to +3 attack, +2 health. So if I want to do dumb stuff, I could take Mushroom Ring and hope that I see that next wizard, or I could be consistent and just take this Energizer, which for the sake of the video, we're going to be taking Energizer. I may make future videos where you can see Mushroom Ring, Two-Headed Wizard in full force. The game's almost over anyway. We're down to 2 players left. And Dungeon Master is not surviving this combat. Alright. Okay. It really doesn't matter. I don't want any of these cards, so let's just take this and throw it into the vault. We get a bonus for taking this and throwing it into the vault by giving the rest of our shop +1/+1. And again, every time we take those silver cards, it gives us another shop. Hephaestus is a cool legendary that says that as long as you have a common, uncommon, rare, and epic treasure, then it will already be golden and will give you that legendary treasure. As it stands, it's just a better card than my Two-Headed Dragon, so we'll just upgrade those stats and then go into the final combat of the game. All right, and that is Once Upon a Galaxy. When we finish our game, it'll show us what the final turn was, what our favorite faction was. It'll give us an amount of stars, which is kind of like how we level up. We get a booster pack for being in the top 3. So let's claim our rewards, and we'll open it. And it's going to come with 1 card specific for our Hades deck. So let's go ahead and hit Edit Deck. we now have Morgan Le Fay as an option to add to our 12 card deck. As you play more games with more captains, you'll start to uh, open the collection for each of them, choosing to mix and match different heroes and or different characters. There are heroes in the pool, but we're looking at characters altogether. And that's it. That is Once Upon a Galaxy. As well as these asynchronous games, you can also play with friends, which allows you to hop into a game, hosting and then giving it a code or joining one as well. So you'll, if you come to join the Twitch streams, we'll occasionally be able to play a live lobby with myself in chat. So thank you all so much for watching. If you want, you can go download Once Upon a Galaxy on the App Store for iOS or Android, or, if you have an iPad or what have you. And they're also on Kickstarter, so you can join me in backing them as they will hopefully get a fully funded Kickstarter and go forth from making a beta into the live game into the best phone game ever. Maybe, maybe. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time.